Tonight on Connecticut's news station, facing financial issues, multiple hospitals in the state struggling to function amid pending acquisition.
A mother and son facing charges in connection to a teen's death. We're hearing emotional reaction from court.
Plus, new details tonight. We're learning what caused a 2021 deadly plane crash. The report just out from transportation officials.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a Weather Watch alert.
And good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Samaya Hernandez. We are in a weather watch alert tonight. It was nice today, but tomorrow could be a different story.
Sound like it's going to be a deluge for a lot of people. Meteorologist Ryan Breton has a first look at the forecast now. Ryan?
Brendan, Samaya, this is going to be a lot like some of the other events we saw over the summer, where it's not a big storm or nor'easter, but slow-moving downpours may cause flash flooding in some spots tomorrow. And we're most concerned about that in western Connecticut. It is going to be a wet day either way, with rain that may fall heavily at times, and both commutes, the morning and evening commute, likely to be affected by rain. Now, the heaviest amounts likely to be in western Connecticut, and that's where flash flooding is a concern. Flash flood watch has been issued for Litchfield, New Haven, and Fairfield counties through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Now, elsewhere there will be rain, but it's probably not going to be quite as heavy as the rain that falls in western Connecticut. Right now, we already have some showers developing in lower Fairfield County around Greenwich, and then just over the border into New York State. But there's more rain to the south, and this is going to form into a band of some heavy rain that already is fairly heavy, with even some thunder and lightning that comes back up toward New York City and western Connecticut tomorrow morning. So if you have plans this evening, you're in good shape. A few showers are possible, but it's really after midnight that the heavier rain starts developing. And this is the morning commute, 7 a.m. Eastern Connecticut, damp with periods of rain, fairly wet around the Hartford area, but the potential is there for some much heavier rain closer to the New York border. We'll go through the full timeline and talk about when this gets out of here coming up.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Well, 3 hospitals that are part of the Eastern Connecticut Health Network are facing major financial issues, and their pending acquisition by Yale New Haven Health and last month's cyber attack have only worsened the crisis.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us live outside of Manchester Memorial Hospital to explain the trickling effects it will have on patients and doctors. Carmen.
Brennan, Samaya, those 3 hospitals have been dealing with financial challenges for a while now, and when they had that cyber attack last month, it only made things worse. So if that sale doesn't go through, lawmakers say there's no way these hospitals will be able to function at all. More than a year ago, Yale New Haven Health acquired 3 hospitals: Manchester Memorial, Rockville General, and Waterbury Hospitals. The acquisition would put an end to the ongoing financial challenges, but the state has yet to approve the sale. Connecticut Senator Saud Anwar, who is a physician at Manchester Memorial, has seen these challenges up front.
The state government has given them money for the Medicaid patients that they have been seeing. So they have actually already advanced the money. The Medicare has advanced the money. But that's not enough to be able to keep them in a healthy mode right now.
On top of the existing challenges, all 3 hospitals were hit with a cyber attack last month, which knocked down all of their medical records, affecting their ability to bill for inpatient and outpatient services, resulting in additional loss of money. Senator Anwar believes an updated system will prevent this from happening again, but there is another roadblock.
The challenge we have is that if you try to fix an old system and put all the resources into fixing an old system, it would become irrelevant as soon as this transaction moves forward.
The Connecticut Hospital Association offered a reaction saying, if the certificate of need is only about process and not about how decisions affect patient care, jobs, and the economy in our state, then we've lost our way. It's clear we need to reform the system. Lawmakers now worried about the direct impact this will have on employees and patients.
I'd heard that the electricity bills they were behind in. I had heard many of the vendors, whether it was the chemicals that are used for lab testing, they were behind in some of those things as well.
Fox 61 reached out to ECHN, who has been urging the state to provide support immediately before it is too late. And they stated, quote, "We hope the state approves the change of ownership application as soon as possible and without onerous conditions." So essentially, we know those hospitals won't see any financial relief until that sale is finalized, and they're hoping that will happen within the next month. I'm live in Manchester. Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Carmen. New details tonight. The National Transportation Safety Board has determined the cause of a 2021 plane crash in Farmington. The NTSB says a parking brake left on during takeoff likely caused the plane to crash into a building in September 2021, killing 4 people. The report released today also says the plane did not have a light or alarm that would have alerted the pilot to the problem. The NTSB report faulted the certification process for the plane, which allowed it to be manufactured without that light or alarm.
Well, happening right now, 2 people are fighting for their lives following a 2-car crash in Middletown. It happened in the area of Route 9 and Miller Street shortly after 5 this morning. An initial investigation shows a car coming from Miller Street tried to take a left turn onto Route 9 North, but was hit by a car going south. A passenger in the car that was trying to cross, it was ejected through the windshield. That passenger and the driver of that car are in critical condition tonight. The other driver is expected to be okay. State police are accusing an 18-year-old boy riding his dirt bike illegally and recklessly in Tolland. Hunter LaForest was seen on social media doing wheelies on I-84 West between exits 68 and 67. The incident happened back in June. LaForest was arrested Friday and faces a list of charges.
The search is on for a domestic violence suspect in Manchester. Police are looking for 31-year-old Andrew Davis of Bristol. They say he was involved in an armed standoff at a home on Woodbridge Street early this morning. A woman called police saying Davis was inside the home with her boyfriend and children and that she was concerned for their safety. Police were able to get him out before entering the home, but Davis was nowhere to be found. Police say Davis and the victims knew each other. In Hartford, police are investigating a shooting where 1 person was injured. That happened on Wolcott Street this morning. Police say the victim arrived at Hartford Hospital with gunshots. The car was shot up. The victim is expected to survive.
5 months after a Groton teen was found unresponsive in a New London home and then later pronounced dead at the hospital, 2 people have now been charged in connection to the case.
Yeah, the mother-son pair was arrested this morning, and they just finished their first appearances in court in New London. That's where we find Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc with the latest.
The same 2 people who were sent to the hospital the night of 17-year-old Denasia Uzzle's death are now being charged in connection to her death with accessory to commit manslaughter. It's something Uzzle's family has been waiting to hear for months. It's something Uzzle's family tells us they've been waiting patiently for. And there was evidence of that inside the courthouse with a few emotional outbursts as friends and family of Denasia, affectionately called Nay, showed up by the dozens, wearing pink, her favorite color, and shouting justice for Nay. But there was a presence for the defendants, too. 40-year-old Erica Cherry and her son, 19-year-old Nyshawn Cherry, both separately appeared in court. Nyshawn pled guilty, but Erica didn't enter a plea. They're both facing charges of accessory to commit manslaughter, accessory to commit strangulation, and more. New London police say this all comes after they got a call on Saturday, April 15th, just after 3 a.m. for an unresponsive woman at a home near Jefferson Ave and Buchanan Road. When they got there, they found Uzzle, who did not have a pulse. She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Erica and Nyshawn Cherry were also found in the home with non-life-threatening stab wounds. Tonight, Uzzle's family is taking in their first step to justice.
A relief, a big relief. I want this day to come. I don't want them to do time, you know, so you can't do this to anyone's child. You can't. And I don't want to happen to anybody else's child.
Now, both Erica and Nyshawn Cherry had their bonds set at $250,000. Both will be back in court at Part A on October 18th, and we'll continue to follow up with this story. We're in New London tonight. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. In our continuing coverage of the alleged ballot fraud in Bridgeport, we've heard from the campaigns and the attorneys and state officials. Tonight we hear from Bridgeport voters themselves. Do they feel their voices matter and that their votes are counted fairly? What Fox 61's Matt Caron uncovered might surprise you.
Well, the allegations here in Bridgeport center around absentee ballot fraud. And as we were interviewing random people here outside of the Margaret Morton Government Center to ask them their feelings about voting in Bridgeport, we ran into a man who claims he was sent an absentee ballot but never requested one.
They sent me an absentee ballot, but I threw that away and go to the poll myself.
They sent you an absentee ballot, or did you request an absentee ballot?
Somebody requested for me. I didn't request it.
You didn't request it?
No, sir.
Do you know who did?
No, sir.
If true, that's against the law. In Connecticut, a voter needs to fill out an application to request an absentee ballot. It goes to the heart of the issue in Bridgeport.
This puts me in a position where even when I do vote, I feel like sometimes, my voice along with others, it don't matter because people are still going to get in the chair regardless.
History has shown that when voters feel disenfranchised, turnout is suppressed by voter apathy. During the August Democratic primary here in Bridgeport, only 25.9% of voters cast a ballot. A Bridgeport resident telling Fox 61 it's time for everyone to pay attention.
It's crazy. I don't watch the news that much, but when something like this happens, people got to focus what's going on in Bridgeport, Connecticut, all over.
And with a general election less than 6 weeks away, Bridgeport voters will have to pay attention now more than ever. A court case now underway where a judge could rule to throw out the results of the primary, setting off an unprecedented scenario.
The Connecticut Supreme Court decided 4 years ago that even if the general election happens and the primary hasn't been settled, the judge here, Judge Clark, can order a new primary, and the new primary could happen after the general election, and then there would be another general election a month or two after that.
That 2019 state Supreme Court case, Lazar v. Ganim, dealing with, you guessed it, ballot fraud in Bridgeport. It stated there is considerable room for fraud in absentee ballot voting, but it set a high bar to overturn election results, going on to say the ordering of a new and different election in effect disenfranchises all of those who voted at the first election.
To inform an entire town of new election dates takes a lot of effort, and I like to remind people that our office has no budget for public outreach and information, so I hope the courts keep that in mind as well.
As for Ronald Cohen, who claims he got that absentee ballot he never requested, it's important to point out that it is not illegal to be sent an absentee ballot application. Sometimes voters can get the applications and the ballots confused. Nonetheless, we reported this incident to the Secretary of the State and the State Elections Enforcement Commission, who is conducting an investigation. Reporting in Bridgeport, outside the Margaret Morton Government Center, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.